Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name is Chris. Let me just adjust you. My name is Chris, and this is our Thursday upper body prehab class. So welcome. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all okay. I hope you're having an amazing day. What are you doing today? I'm literally segregating that upper body, so fixating the pelvis, getting everything up nice and stable, nice and sturdy. Those anti-rotation. A lot of us focus on developing the abs and crunching in. Okay, not many of us focus on the holding exercises, if you will. So those exercises that stabilize us, get us strong, because we want to be able to rotate with power, but we also want to allow our bodies to fixate in a position. Okay, so whether we're running and we're keeping everything tight, so we're just firing our legs, or whether we're on a bike and holding on and we're firing our legs and we're not swaying from side to side, we want to be able to have the movement when we want it, and we also want to be able to have the movement when we don't, the no movement when we don't want it. Stick my teeth in. It's been a long morning, guys. So hope you're all okay. Say hello in the comment section. It's nice to see some names. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Lucy. And if you want, give the video a little thumbs up if you're having a good day so far. So things you're going to need are something slippery to slide across your floor. Okay, you're going to need a little red band just like so that you can stretch and pull in all manner of weird, wonderful directions. And you're going to need some sort of weights or heavy objects. Okay, it could be whether it's a water bottle and you're holding it out and using that as a weight, whether you've got some small dumbbells. Nothing too extravagant, okay? You're talking light, small stuff, just for those rotator cuff muscles and certain movements that I'm going to get you to do, okay? So, that all being said, hopefully you're having an amazing day so far and you're ready to go, okay? Good morning, Tim. How you doing, buddy? So, hopefully you're feeling a little bit looser after yesterday's session, stretching session, and you're feeling less and less sore from Monday and Tuesday sessions, okay? Well done to those who did it. If you haven't, check them out, okay? So you're gonna draw down just like so, holding that stretch, okay? And then coming up. As you come up, you're gonna lean forward, you're gonna keep your arms straight, and you're gonna keep your fingers forward, all right? It's gonna stretch that forearm, okay? You should feel it on the back of your forearm here as you lean slightly over your fingertips, and then draw back, okay? So it's there, keeping your hands still, stretching out as much as you can, then coming up forward, drawing the hips down, leaning over your fingertips, stretching out that forearm, just like so. Good, coming up again, flow from one to the other, sit, coming back, last one, good. Now from there, sliding underneath, coming all the way around, big stretch, and then swap sides. Let's get that mobility in that upper back, and then those hips. How many of you, this is the big question, how many of you have found that over the weeks, months, and possible year that you've done this, you've got better? Okay, that'd be a really interesting question to answer. How are you finding these classes helping you? And what have you noticed improving? I know last week Brian said that his balance has got a lot better since doing the Friday morning class. Is there any certain movements you weren't able to do and now you are? Let me know in that comment section. Always nice hearing your stories and seeing them help you, okay? So from there, you're going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to come in and around the back, opening up that shoulder to the side. Careful of the head as you swing it backwards. Good. Swapping sides. Well done. Good. One more. Perfect. Okay. So what you're going to do this time is you're going to walk it as far forward as you can. You're going to come up. You're going to stretch around. You're going to squeeze. You're going to come back around. You're going to walk it forwards. You're going to do a press up, and you're going to come back. All right. So let's walk it up, squeezing behind the head, coming forward. Just like so. Good. One more. Good. From there, gently lay on your side. How are we feeling, Tim? You okay? Pecs will be balanced. Good. So important because we tend to seize up, especially training for your first half Ironman. You're going to get super tense, especially on that bike, and it's going to limit your running. So flexibility, mobility is super important, especially if you want to be a good swimmer and a good all-round athlete. So from there, slide forward as much as you can. Get that stretch in the shoulder and the back. Come all the way over. Reach in, shoulder and shoulder down, just like so. Try and keep those knees still. And then come all the way back. Okay? So there's a little stretch forward first. Reach all the way around. Draw it down. And back over, okay? Keep that going. Big stretch. Good. Awesome drop. Keep it going. Big stretch over. Good. One more. Good. Swap sides. Just like so. Again, reach in as far forward as you can. Big reach around. Try to get that shoulder down. So you've got a straight line from fingertip to fingertip. Big reach. Nice solid stretch around. Good. That's it, last one. Good. So, from there, what we're going to do, okay, you are either going to be on all fours in a box shape, tap in just like so. Now imagine you've got a small bowl of water on your lower back and you're trying to keep all the water in the bowl as you come up, there, come up. Second stage is drawing forward, squeezing your bum. Okay, again, imagining there's water at this time in your pockets. You're trying to keep your back as still as you can. And then last but not least, if you can, come up, again, keeping your back as solid as you can. Okay, so it is a gentle tap You're trying not to rotate from there. It is not about as quick as you can, so you're rolling from there, right? Your hips aren't up, okay? If they have to be like that for you to do it, it's better for you to drop down and squeeze your bum, okay? If you can squeeze your glutes, squeeze your arms, you know you're in the right place, okay? All right, so gently getting ready, going in 3, 2, 1, coming up, nice and still. Good, shake it out. So, should feel like someone is holding your pelvis as still as you can. So as you're trying to rotate this way, okay, this side is going to want to draw that way, okay? Try to draw it down and against it so you don't move. You're going to get hot, you're going to get sweaty real quick. So if you need a fan, get the fan on. Good. Well done. So it's that is going to really, really improve, okay? Because you want to be able to rotate when you want to, with control, with power. And you also want to stop the rotation from happening, right, when you don't want it, okay? Because if you have stability here and all the way up here, okay, you'll have stability in the shoulders, you'll have stability in the arms, you'll have stability in the knees, the ankles, or greater stability, okay? If you have stability in the ankles as well, like our Friday sessions, right, you're gonna minimize the risk of injury in the knee, which most of us have because of lack of stability here and down the bottom, okay? Same with the shoulders, okay? Lack of stability causes them to dislocate, causes them to get impinged, and problems, you name it, muscle tears, ligament tendon tears, soft tissue tears, all these little things that are going to help develop your strength and power, okay? So, same again, squeeze your bum, squeeze your arms, set yourself up, going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Tap in. Last one. Good. Perfect. Shake it out again. Little stretch. Just when you thought your abs had recovered from Monday and Tuesday. Still blooming feel it. How we all feeling so far? Let me know in that comment section, okay? So, should we get hot? Should we get sweaty? Okay, that's a neural response. Okay, it's kind of like similar holding a plank, because we're used to working one side versus the other, your biceps, triceps, or your quads and your hamstrings, okay? It's very hard for the body then to contract everything and then load it, okay? The better you get at this, the more you're going to be at the later stages of races, events, your training. Those postural differences are going to hold out a little bit greater, okay? So you're not going to just collapse in a heap. You know, these people you see running marathons and so on and so forth, where they're literally falling forward, okay? You want to be erect and nice and tall as you're running, so those mechanics are so much better. And then the better the mechanics, the better the transfer of power, okay? And that's when you then increase that speed, okay? So, same again, this is going to be the last one, then we're going to mix it up a little bit, all right, and kind of teach you how to do certain things other ways, okay? So, coming up in 3, 2, 1, big draw up, okay? Nice and tall. 4. Good. Little stretch out the bottom. So, little one to kick the ball off with your slippery pad, your towel, your object that is going to allow you to slide your hand along the floor, okay? What we're going to do is in a similar position to what we were just in, whether it's a press up, a 3/4 press, you name it, okay? You're going to wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi style, okay? So it's there, okay? You're making small circles, you're going to be rubbing just like so. It's going to help you develop that rotate cup in a strong manner. You're going to go clockwise to begin with, then anti-clockwise when I say, but you're making the smallest circle ever, okay? Having it directly underneath that shoulder. So it's wrist, elbow, had to think then, and shoulder, all in a line, making that circle as you're stabilizing everything else, okay? So if you're in this position, it's squeezing the bum, squeezing the abs, making that underneath the shoulder. You're not drawing down, your bum's not up, you're not giving all this, because then you're not gonna load the shoulder in the right way as well, okay? So if you need a pad for your knees, slide that under just to safeguard them, and then get into that habit, okay? So gently coming up, going to 3, 2, 1, and go. Clockwise first. Good, spinning around, anti-clockwise. And relax, good job. Whew. Could anyone feel the transference of weight from one side to the opposite side? Okay, you should feel that where you're trying to make your moving hand as light as you can. You should feel that transference from the loaded shoulder to the opposite leg, because that's helping stabilize you. The more you draw this foot into the ground, the more you draw this hand into the ground, okay? It's going to help stabilize, and then that spare leg is just going to keep you balanced, if you will, as you're doing these movements, right? So think nice and tight, okay? Big deep breath, as you can tell just by talking, I'm breathless. We're doing these exercises and help stabilize by squeezing that abs and squeezing those glutes. Those are your core muscles as well, okay? Think glutes, hip flexors, six pack, obliques, rotate cuff, all right? Can't just think of the core as this, all right? Okay, so gently getting ready. Coming up in 3, 2, clockwise to begin with. And change, good job. Good job, well done, shaking out. Little stretch, draw it down, lengthen the shoulders, lengthen those lats. Good, shake it out. Let me know in the comment section how you're doing. Have a little drink if you need it. Have a little bit of a rest if you need that. Okay, obviously a loaded shoulder really feels it. Yeah, okay. That's where you're gonna compromise it. That's where you're gonna rotate, okay? And it's all about stopping that rotation, okay? You want to be stronger in your movements, okay? You need to learn how to control your movements, okay? So knowing when to rotate, right? And knowing when not to rotate, right? Which is why when we did that ab exercise here, you're rotating there and throwing it up with power, people hate that exercise. They much prefer the Russian twist, because it's controlling it there, controlling it here, right? It's accelerating and decelerating, which your body does on a constant level, on a constant basis. And without the knowledge of and training and adaptability of loading, deloading, accelerating, decelerating, controlling the movement, allowing the movement, then you're kind of asking yourself, when would you like to be injured, you know? So it's really important that you kind of really isolate and really get everything working together in this movement as you're there, stabilizing and just allowing that movement, okay? So this next one, allowing your slip pads to disappear, just like that, boom, it's gone, right? You're going to go into that position. Now, if you're on a yoga mat or an exercise mat, then perfect, because you're gonna aim towards the other side, okay? There, there. Now, notice how my shoulder drops ever so slightly, okay? Now, what's gonna happen is your hips are gonna wanna drop, okay? But you're not gonna allow them, okay? Now, again, you can either do that in a box shape, a 3/4 press shape, or full press, okay? And it's just your arms that is coming from one side load to the other side, okay? You're not moving and dropping and really extending and allowing the spine to rotate, okay? The spine stays straight. It's the shoulder blade gliding from there to over here, to there to over here as you stretch, okay? The spine is dead straight as you're doing that movement. You're coming behind the hand, okay? Right, you ready? So, feet mat width away, because it's going to give you a little bit of stability. If you're really good, then bring your feet closer together, but just engage your hips by squeezing your bum and your abs, and then that way your pelvis is in the right position, okay? Going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Four to go. Good. Shake it out. Let me know how you're doing, guys. Really good. Really good, okay? So, big deep breaths. Shaking out the wrists. Okay, if you need to stretch them, right? Stretch them like that. Okay, and then roll them up and tuck them in by there. It's going to help the stretch in your forearms, okay? It's going to be a little bit sore because quite often we don't load our wrists unless you're doing press-ups a lot. But yeah, I can start to feel that in mine, so I imagine you're feeling it in yours. All right, so big deep breath, keeping it going. Okay, we're going to do one more round like that. How was that in comparison to the rotating version, right? Loads the body slightly different, doesn't it? You know, you can't, not necessarily feeling it on a diagonal point of view, but more of a central, right underneath you kind of point of view, okay? The feet on that lower back, it's going to work that lower back, so keep those hips in line by squeezing your bum, squeezing your abs, all right? You ready? Going in 3, 2, 1, coming up, nice and steady, let's go. Two more. Good job. Well done. Awesome effort, guys. Okay, so now's the time you grab your heavy objects. Okay, by heavy, I mean a couple kilograms, 1, 2, if you're lucky, 3 kilograms. You're not talking massive weights. If you don't have any weights and you've got a 2 litre bottle of water, okay, grab a 2 litre bottle of water, grab a litre bottle of water, okay, whatever you got, okay. If you don't, use your bands, but they're going to be better with weights on this one, okay. So single weight, okay, we've done it not a million times, but a fair few times now, okay. We're going to be in that box shape. You're going to be here, just like so, laying on your side. Now you've got a nice little right angle where your ankle's in line with your knee, your knee's in line with your hips line, straight spine to your shoulder and to the top of your head. Okay. Now, if you have a lot of tension in your neck, you may want a double pillow to stack underneath so your neck's neutral. Okay, it's not dropped down and it's not upright like this. Now, from there, you're going to glue your elbow into your rib cage. Okay, just like so. Shoulders back. It's not going to drop forward. Shoulders back. It's really important that you emphasize your chest doing this. This hand is in line with the shoulder, and you are coming from there. You are tensing, keeping that elbow pivoted into your rib. Okay, should be right onto your hip as well. And you're coming up into a right angle. Okay, I can feel that all at the back of my shoulder, just where the back part of my shoulder meets my armpit. Okay, those are the muscles you're working. It's really important that you glue that elbow down and rotate there, because if you lift up the elbow, it doesn't work the small muscles or it does, but not to an effect, because the big muscle will take over. Okay, what you want to do is really isolate the small muscles as you're doing it. Okay, so glue in, relax, keep your head neutral. Okay, coming up in 3, 2, 1. Big raise out to here, back down. Good, keep going. Good, we've got one more. Perfect, okay. Now, spin it around on the opposite side. How many of you noticed that when I was doing those exercises, okay, my shoulder did not roll forward, okay? That's super important. That, by that, I mean, once you're in that position, okay, you are drawn back and you are there rotating here. So you can see the outline shape of my shoulder here, okay? It did not roll this way, okay? If it looks like that and there's a shadow along here, okay, then it's bad. It's going to negatively influence your shoulder, okay? You want to draw back, open up the shoulder joint, that AC joint here, okay? From there, all the way out, getting that best mobility, because you're trying to open up the joint and take away this kind of closed in posture that we tend to have because of sitting down at phones, iPods, laptops, computers, desk work, driving, you name it. Okay, so we're trying to undo all that negative work that we have placed on our body. Okay, so you ready? Nice right angle, glue it down as tough as you can, draw that shoulder back just like me, and keep it back. Okay, let's go. It's going to be one more. Good job. Okay, so spinning around again. Same thing, one more round each side. How are we feeling so far, guys? Let me know. How are you finding it in that movement? Is it a burner? Is your neck starting to feel it? Okay, because quite often we have a lot of tension in our neck, but it's relatively quite weak because we're used to holding it in a certain way and not holding it straight in this posture. Okay, so nice and tight, grouped in, bring the weight as close to your abdomen as you can, emphasize that chest, draw that shoulder back, and drive out like so. Let's go. Good man, Tim. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it going, guys. You're doing amazing. That's it. One more. That's it. Really push it. So as you can feel, smaller the muscles, the more you control that technique, the quicker they fatigue. Okay? And it's that thing that right there and then when you are fatiguing, like you saw towards the last reps that I was doing, okay, it's perfectly normal to then want to rotate and roll back and add that rotation in because it's bigger muscles helping the smaller ones, right? Now, if you can train yourself not to do that, when you then need it, you'll then utilize it, okay? But you'll be much stronger for doing so, okay? So keep it nice and tight, focus on that technique and try not to add that rotation, okay? You ready? So let's go. Good, last one. Good job, well done, shake it out. Whew. How are you feeling so far? How are we getting on? A little drink if you need it. So much harder, isn't it? The more you control it, the more you isolate it, okay? It's going to be a huge, huge difference to what you're doing and how you're doing it, okay? Because the more you draw out, the more you draw back and down, okay? You're going to be less trap dominated, okay? You're going to be much less internally rotated. You're going to be able to draw back. You're going to be able to reach back here without compromising this lower back down there, okay? So people with lower back issues, you know, it's so important that you correct this stuff because that way you're loading your body the way it's designed to be loaded as opposed to it's learned bad habits and that's how it's managed from now on, right? So throughout your life, your body is adapted to the jobs you do, the lifestyles you lead, and so on and so forth. So it's learned those movement patterns. Now, some of them are going to be right, some of them are going to be wrong, and some of them are going to be inefficient, okay? So they're neither right or wrong, they just could be improved in a way. Now, this whole point is then to correct that movement, okay? So your skeleton, your joints, your frame doesn't degenerate like it typically does, and we put it down to aging, when quite often it's not necessarily just aging that is the problem. It's the lack of movement that you've had throughout your life. It's the fact that you weren't doing this stuff and this stuff wasn't a science 20 years ago, 10 years ago. So keep it up, okay? Right? So you're going to hang it here. Now this is going to be a tough one, okay, because you're going to draw up into that position. You're going to want to lean this way. You're going to want to kind of lean that way to help counter it, okay? So you may need to adjust your weights, but it's elbow down in a high rise position, so elbows in line. Your wrist is underneath your elbow, okay, and you're rotating the shoulder, which then rotates the arm, okay? So it's there to here. You're going to want to drop down, okay? So if you have a mirror, okay, use that mirror, right? Because it's super, super important, okay? All right? You're going to pick your weakest arm first. I'm left-handed. I'm going to use my right, okay? So it's there, okay? Go to 3, 2, 1. Brace in as much as you can all here to stay as strong as you can in the shoulder and as balanced as you can, okay? Super slow, super controlled. 2 more. Should be feeling it all along this side. Good. Swap it sides. Again, super tall, embrace here, okay? Draw up there, right? Go to 3, 2, 1. Draw it up, nice and controlled. Back down. Try and hold yourself accountable. If you're struggling, draw back. Ooh. Good, real good. 3 to go. Good job, well done. Okay, so if you have 2 weights, okay, you're going to use 2 weights. If you don't, okay, then stick to that or use a band if you can, all right? Then you're going to hold the band here like we did the other week, and then you're going to rotate up and rotate back. Just be careful of your face, obviously, okay? Some respects it's going to be a little harder, some respects it's going to be a little easier. So you may have to have a little play around if you've got a couple of weights that are light weighted, okay, then have an array out in front of you. If not, use your bands because they will give you just as challenging workout, I promise you, all right? So it's going to be exactly the same there, okay? You're going to draw up into that position. You may find it easier on your trunk, okay? But it's going to be really important that you focus on those elbows and you're rotating up here, okay, as you're doing it. So, gently getting ready. Coming up nice and tall. 3, 2, 1. Big drive up. There we go. Two more. Good job, well done. Shake it down. How are you feeling, guys? Yeah. Super tough on the old shoulders. Should feel it all around, okay, because you're used to here being sore and drawn down, okay? So, as tall as you can. Crept it nice and tall, nice and easy in regards to how you're sitting. Big deep breaths, okay? We're going to do one more where we're drawing from there all the way up, tap in, all the way back down, just like so, okay? You're going to try and present your chest just like you're doing now, and draw those shoulders down. And then from there, imagine you're scraping up against the wall all the way to the top part of your crown as you're coming back there, okay? All right? So, yeah. So it's much more balanced, okay? So it's really important that you train the way you are dealing with life, okay? So if you're doing certain sports and so on and so forth, swimming, for example, you're using one side and the other in polar opposites. So you need that stability, you know, the controlled movement, because you want a little bit of movement, but you don't want to over-rotate, okay? Because over-rotate means you capsize and you end up rolling over and not going anywhere. Same with things in life. If you're reaching up for something in the cupboard, you don't want to over-rotate and lose your balance, especially if you're cooking or anything like that. So it's these important things that sometimes doing bent over rows, not two-handed, one-handed, helps with the rotation or the anti-rotation, okay? Sometimes it's not always best to row with both arms because you don't always use both arms. It's like kind of, I heard that best with running, you know, walking. You move your legs one leg at a time. Yeah, we generally squat, deadlift, leg press, everything at two legs at a time, and we wonder why we get injured, you know. Train how you move and how you live, all right? So, nice and tall, proud chest, draw the shoulders back, okay? Really squeeze the shoulder blades before you start. Engage by squeezing your arms and then lift. Let's go. Two more. Good job. Well done. So check the knees out the way and then jumping down into that stretch. Okay. So to begin with, you're going to take your knees out nice and wide. You're going to sink down as deep as you can, just like so. Stretching it out. Taking it easy. Nice and gentle. Good. From there, lifting your right arm up, sliding it underneath. Dropping the shoulder down, lifting the palm up. Good. Swapping sides. Good. From there, coming up nice and tall, sitting around, legs straight, arms on the back. If you can, stick it on a raised object, shuffle forward so your chest is pushed out. Drop your knees down, tuck your toes up. How we doing, guys? You okay? Did amazing. Thanks very much for joining me. Hope you've had an amazing session. Hope you learned a little bit. Hope you found out a little bit more about your body, because this is what it's all about. It's all about self-exploration, finding out how you work and what you need to change as an individual, which is why cookie cut programs online don't work, okay? Generally, because you're an individual and you should be treated as such and trained as such, which is why I'm trying to give you the information whilst we exercise and train, okay? So, sorry that I talk a million times, but at the same time, I'm also not sorry, because hopefully you're learning from it, okay? But if it is having too much, just tell me, shut up, you know, I won't be offended. Have an amazing day. Thanks for joining me again. I really appreciate it. If you would like to, okay, and if you have the means to, tonight at 6:30, we will be doing our second online indoor cycling session. Okay, it's called Watt Bike because I'm cycling on a Watt Bike. Doesn't mean you necessarily need one. If you have a turbo trainer, if you have an indoor cycling bike, so like a spin bike, by all means come along. If you have the power means to train in power, so watts, then brilliant. If you have the means to train via heart rate, then brilliant. If not, it's kind of RPE, which is like rate of perceived exertion. So give it a go. It's all zone based, so it's all individual. So my zone 1 is unique to me, and your zone 1 is unique to you. So it will all be relevant to us as individuals, just like these classes are. Okay. So if you want to join us live 6:30 tonight on the channel, look out for that. Have an amazing day, and hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow morning, if not tonight. Take care. If you can, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, get them involved, and let's grow this community together. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for using the comment section. Thanks for your nice comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you again for joining me. I shall see you soon. Take care. If you have any questions, let me know over social media. I'll see you soon. Take care.